Alright guys, for the first round, my opponent's first Pokemon is going to be a Galvantula. Galvantula being a bug and electric type Pokemon, both of us are going to be doing neutral damage against each other. Electric types being super effective against flying types and not effective against dragon types that will be causing neutral damage to occur. And my Dragon Breath is going to be doing a good amount of damage as well with my Dragon Breath because it is going to be doing a good amount of neutral damage. My Moonblast is charged up and that I do know will be able to one-shot my opponent's Galvantula from the health that my opponent is at, but he does decide to throw in his first shield there. I do have the advantage for shields, but I do know that I will definitely be able to get the first feint off, so then I will be able to see my opponent's second Pokemon without actually having to go for the swap cooldown. So my Swablu is going to be able to go for the Hard Farm Dad. Both of us do have one shield left, but I do have the advantage because I was able to see my opponent's second Pokemon first. Plus my opponent does decide to probably throw in his shield here from my Moonblast. Moonblast being a fire type charge move, it is going to be doing a good amount of neutral damage. And since Politoed being a water type Pokemon, I did decide to make a swap out into my Superior because grass types will be doing super effective damage against water types. My opponent's second to last Pokemon is going to be a Superior as well, Superior being a grass type Pokemon. I did decide to throw in the Aerial Ace instead of my Frenzy Plant because flying types will be doing super effective damage against grass types, while grass types will be doing not very effective grass damage types. So I do decide to throw in the Aerial Ace once again instead of that Frenzy Plant. My Aerial Ace is once again charged up. I do expect to see my opponent's final shield come out right here, because once again, since it is going to be doing super effective damage, we will most likely get a guaranteed feint, and also especially from the health that my opponent is at. So he does decide to throw in a shield. I do just decide to bring away that shield as well, so that we didn't take any damage from the Aerial Ace. That was very good because we do want to get the first feint as possible. And I do know that my opponent's final Pokemon is going to be that Politoed, and my Superior will be able to fully counter him once again, since grass types will be doing super effective damage against water types. That will be very good. That Politoed is going to be coming out, and he does actually get to his charge move. I do know that this will probably be something like a Mud Bomb that we are going to be resisting, as you guys see there. My Vine Whip is doing super effective damage as well. It is going to be okay if he does actually get to his charge move right here. It will possibly fade my Superior, but this still is okay because I do have two good health Pokemon left in the back, which is my Altaria and my Snorlax, and because of that, it did allow us to win the first round. Good game to our opponent. Alright guys, for the second round, my opponent's first Pokemon is going to be an Altaria. Altaria being a dragon and flying type Pokemon, both of us are going to be doing super effective damage against each other due to dragon types being super effective against dragon types, and especially my Moonblast is going to be doing super effective damage as well due to fairy types being super effective against dragon types. My opponent does make a swap out into an Alolan Raichu to actually counter my Altaria, but that does not work because I do allow my own Snorlax to come in. Snorlax having access to Lick will be doing super effective damage against my opponent due to Ghost types being super effective against Psychic types. So we are doing a good amount of damage with our Lick. Matter of fact, only our Lick will probably be able to actually face my opponent's Alolan Raichu, so that is great. I am going to be throwing in my final shield right here, which is still okay because these body slams will be doing a good amount of damage against my opponent's Altaria, that we will most likely be getting a shield. The Altaria is actually going to be coming out. As you guys know, I do have 0 shields left, so I can't do anything about getting hit by this Sky Attack or this Moonblast. We do get hit by a Sky Attack, which is still okay because my Body Slam is charged up, and that will repay my opponent for his damage done against my Snorlax. Body Slam is charged up. We do as well get my opponent's final shield. I do make a quick swap into my Altaria because I did remember I did have Moonblast charged up. Moonblast being a fairy type charge move, it will be doing super effective damage against dragon types. My opponent's final Pokemon is going to be the Alolan Marowak. I do have a lot of counters. I do just know that my Superior will not be able to go up against this Alolan Marowak due to grass types being not very effective against fire types, but I do know that my Altaria and my Snorlax will be doing enough damage to actually feint or allow my superior to actually come in and feint my opponent's Alolan Marowak, allowing us to win the second round. Good game to my opponent. Alright guys, for the third round, my opponent's first Pokemon is also going to be an Altaria. Altaria once again is a Dragon and Flying type Pokemon, so our Dragon type moves will be doing super effective damage against each other, and all of our Fairy type moves are going to be doing super effective damage against each other as well. I am able to get my opponent's first shield there, that is great, and I do realize that my opponent is actually running Peck as his fast move instead of actually using Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath is always going to be a stronger fast move for Altaria always. Peck being a flying type fast move, it was barely even doing any damage against my Altaria. Plus my opponent's second Pokemon is going to be a Dragonite that my Altaria does fully farm down with having a bit of HP left to actually throw in a Moonblast. My opponent's second Pokemon is going to be a Raikou. I do know that he still has a half health Altaria in the back that I don't have to worry about at all. But since Raikou being an electric type Pokemon, my Frenzy Plant is going to be doing a lot of damage from my Superior, and Superior being a grass type Pokemon, electric types will be doing not very effective damage against grass types. We are able to get to the excellence on the Frenzy Plant. That is great because my Vine Whip is able to take my opponent's Raikou out. That Altaria is going to be coming in. I do know that one Aerial Ace from my Superior will be enough to actually defeat my opponent, allowing us to win the third round. Good game to our opponent. Alright guys, for the fourth round, my opponent's first Pokemon is going to be a Stunfisk. Stunfisk being a ground and electric type Pokemon, that would have been a pretty even start, but my opponent does make a swap out into Raichu with Charm as his fast move, which will be doing super effective damage against my Altaria due to Fairy types being super effective against Dragon types. So I do decide to make a swap out into my safe swap, which is that Snorlax. I do know that Snorlax will be able to do enough damage to my opponent's Raichu to actually win this round or this one-on-one. And that is great because we do want to have the advantage as much as possible once again. My opponent does dominate Wild Charge. That is great for us because I do know that we are going to be doing more damage due to that huge defense debuff that Wild Charge did give to my opponent. So my Body Slam is charged up. I do know that one Body Slam from the health that my opponent's Raichu is at. I do know that it will be able to feint my opponent, and if we do get the first feint, that is very good because we are able to see my opponent's second Pokemon without actually having to go for the swap cooldown, and because of that, we are able to see my opponent's second Pokemon, which is that Scyther. So Scyther being a bug and flying type Pokemon, my Snorlax did actually go down there only because he was pretty low, but I did decide to make a swap out into my Altaria. I could allow my Superior to actually go ahead and go up against that Raichu in the back, which is probably the better move, but my opponent's Scyther is pretty low. My Dragon Breath is just farming him down. It is doing so much damage, and I do know that only one Night Slash will not be able to feint my Altaria, and that is very good because we are able to actually survive this and possibly get a Moonblast off on my opponent's final Pokemon, which is going to be that Stunfisk. So Stunfisk being a ground and electric type Pokemon. Once again, as I said before, my superior will be able to do enough damage because my superior is actually countering my opponent due to ground types being not very effective against grass types, and also our grass type moves being super effective against ground types. That will be causing neutral damage or super effective damage to occur on my side, and because of that, my opponent does decide to surrender, allowing us to win the 4th round. Good game to my opponent. Alright guys, for the final round, my opponent's first Pokemon is going to be an Altaria. So as you guys see from 4 rounds, we did get an Altaria start, so something like a Granbull will be a pretty good start, or any fairy type Pokemon will be a very good start, possibly for like the next 3 days in the Retro Cup. As you guys saw there, once again, we did get 4 Altaria starts. That just shows that these fairy type moves will be very good in this season for now, but my opponent does decide to make a swap out into Politoed. Politoed being a water type Pokemon, my superior will be doing very well against him due to Politoed being a water type Pokemon, and grass types will be doing super effective damage against water types. I don't even have to throw in any shields because I do know when when he's going to actually charge up to that Blizzard. That will be the only move capable to actually feint my own superior. My opponent does finally choose not to throw in his shield there, and my Frenzy Plant did instantly feint my opponent right there. My opponent's second Pokemon is going to be an Alolan Marowak. I do know that he still has that Altaria in the back, which is still okay because my superior will not be performing very well against either of those Pokemon. So it is going to be okay if my superior does actually feint. So I do decide not to be throwing in his shield here. My Shadow Bone does instantly feint my superior right there, and I do decide to make that swap out into my Snorlax. Snorlax having access to Lick and being a normal type Pokemon, my opponent's Alolan Marowak does have access to ghost type moves, and since once again we are going to be a normal type Pokemon, ghost types will be doing not very effective damage against ghost types. And also I do have 2 shields left, while my opponent does only have 0. My Snorlax will once again be fully countering that Alolan Marowak. Ghost types will be doing super effective damage against ghost types, and Snorlax does have access to Link once again. My Moonblast will instantly be able to feint my opponent's Altaria, as you guys see there, and from that my opponent does decide to surrender, allowing us to win the final round. Good game to my opponent. Alright guys, so that will be the end of today's video. If you guys did enjoy, please consider dropping a like, subscribing, and turning notifications on. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.